we'll start if y'all will stand and join me in the pledge, please. I pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, thank you, everybody. And again, for the last hour, I appreciate everybody's inputs and discussion there, and continue feeding us information as things come to you. Now we want to have a roll call to be sure we have a quorum. And let's see, I just didn't see it. Anyway, we have one missing, and David had told me he would not be able to be here. But we can have two that's not able to be here and still have a quorum, so we can declare a quorum.
What did I do wrong now?
Well, we've seen the minutes, but we don't have them here, is all.
See, that's why oh no, man.
Anyway.
And he was in the office earlier.
Did everybody get to see the minutes?
They were, Tina posted them on your email account.
We got them, so if everybody has seen those and is fine with that, then I would still accept a motion for approving the minutes from the last meetings.
Move to approve minutes. Second.
Okay. Yeah, all those in favor, raise your right hand. Okay. All right, very good. And if anybody wants those, they'll be on the website.
On the website, we'll have copies at the office, so that if you'd like to pick up a hard copy, you certainly may.
Okay, and when we have no recognitions or proclamations kind of stuff now. Also, I've had received no questions, so we don't have that. As far as the financial report, we also gotten that. We don't have copies here, and we're closing things out. You know, the city operates on, and all cities operate on a calendar year basis. So December closed out 2025, and we have to report on that later actually, but we've got that done. And so we're starting. We passed the budget last time, and so we're starting that as of January 1, starting a new year. So if anybody wants to look at those budgets, you know, we have copies in the office, and is that on the site?
No.
Okay, we can think about that. We could.
But we will probably have, we'll make sure we bring extra copies to next month's meeting as well. So
Good luck with that.
we'll have to give you time to get around.
And there's something down here later, because we didn't know yet, so in passing the budget, we actually passed two, basically in contingency. The way it was written, it was broad enough in terms of the budget, and so we didn't know at that time whether we were going to receive the grant we had applied for the City Hall and City Marshal Office. And so after that, we had one for if we did get it and one if we didn't. And so ends up that we did not get that grant. Finally got the word from the commission. We're working on that. It was open to different anybody in the state that met the criteria, and they had like $330 million worth of requests with a budget of $15 million. So and you know, when I looked at the list of those, that a lot of it was community efforts, things aimed at facilities for kids and stuff. So you know, probably went where it needed to go anyway. So we'll just look for future opportunities. There's always opportunities for grants and for things like that. So we'll just continue to look at that as we go ahead. Okay, so we'll just hold on not passing that report though right now. We can do that next time officially, but we've all seen it. So as far as the business, we've got unfinished business here, and one of the things I wanted to talk about, just to see kind of what the council's view on it is. You know, we've been trying to put things on the different Facebook accounts to let people know about the annexation election, and that it will be on the ballot March the 3rd, and has to be voted on by both sides, the Garland County side and the other side. But I think we need to kind of focus something toward the Hot Spring County side that's to be annexed, so that they're certainly aware. And so to me, there was like two options. We could just go ahead and mail out letters. I think there was like 73 residences there, so it's not that too many. Now, several of those would have multiple voters, but we could do that, or we could even just make a flyer, and some of us could pick a part of that area and then just hand them out. So, anyway, it's not too, if it's gonna be 1,000 letters, that would be a problem, but if it's just a few like that, I'm kind of feeling like we just do that, but I wanted to get the flavor of the council in terms, or any other ideas about how we be sure and get the word to those people that, and not trying to necessarily, push it, just saying, here's what's happening, and here's what the results will be, and it's gonna be on the ballot, be looking for it, and you decide if you want to vote for it or against it. Any thoughts? Yeah, no?
I personally think that we should do a mail out, if it's just 75 households. If we want to additionally hand out flyers to those 75 households, but they definitely needs to go in the mail, because 9 times out of 10, I've been on handout campaigns before. 9 times out of 10, nobody's home, or they won't answer the door. And you wanna make sure everybody gets the information, so that's my thought.
So it's gonna be voted on in both counties, do we need to do the same thing for Garland County?
That's a lot more mail-outs. Yeah, and I feel like more people on that side know, just because there's more there, I think, that are already tuned into the city stuff. But we're open to whatever we need to do to get the word out. That's what I was trying to do. But I felt like at least for sure the Hot Spring County side needed to get some, because they're the ones getting annexed. It's more direct word, so.
How many households?
I think there's.
900, something 900 and whatever?
Well.
That's the
no,
population.
Oh,
I think
households.
something I remember seeing was some 450 households.
400, something around 400, yeah.
So we have to get that research for all
We
this.
can do that too.
We can do that too. Okay, well, let's look at that.
If you do that.
Any other ideas? Okay, I don't think there's anything we need to vote on. I think I can just decide that I wanted to get everybody's input. And so,
I want everybody to know about it.
yeah, that's probably.
Yeah.
Probably.
I think it's.
We'll try to figure it out. We've got, 6 weeks or something, 6, 7 weeks yet.
Could do
Okay,
different.
so we will do that. Okay, and then I already kind of mentioned the closeout of the 2025 budget. I think it's in April, 1st of April, something like that we have to officially make an input. We also have to officially make an input of our new budget. It has to be supplied to the state by February 1. And so we're working to do that. We have the budget already voted on and in place, so we just have to figure out who to get it to. We did it last year, but it's been a year, so I don't remember having to go get that from the municipal league or our attorney. Okay, now one of the things we wanted to talk about a little bit tonight, and it's just been some of the first thoughts again, is that we've set some things up, we've got some things going from this last year, but it's a new year now, and we're starting off with a new budget, and we'd like to look at what we want to do for this next year. And so we want to kind of have some planning toward that. We want to have a way that people can make inputs. And so Melanie is going to be the focus on that. So I'm going to give it to her to kind of talk about that and describe what we're looking at.
Okay, so when we first became a city, I talked to Ralph. I said, Ralph, we need to do some strategic planning. He said, Melanie, right now, we just need to get this thing off the ground. And I said, you're right. So we had to do a lot of things that we needed to get done, like he just said. But what we want to do now is to have, Benny Prince has agreed to serve as the facilitator for our strategic planning process. She's done that before. She's great at it, and we really needed someone with some experience to do that with us. So I'm so thankful that she's agreed to do that. Juliana, who is a computer whiz, and thank you, Juliana, for agreeing to do this, has come up with a City of Diamond Head resident survey. And because we want, unlike other entities who don't ask for input, we do want to get community input. What do you think is important? What do you want to see done here? Are there things that you're thinking of. So I'm gonna let her talk to you a little bit about the survey and where it's gonna be available to you, because we're gonna push it out through lots of different avenues. There's some open-ended stuff, but there's also some very specific things that you can answer. And always feel free to email one of us if you can think of other things that aren't on here or that you didn't say that we maybe hadn't considered. Because when we do strategic planning, it should be for you, not just for us. And that's the only way we can make sure that we're hearing your voice as well. So Juliana, you want to talk about the survey?
So this survey that the survey that I've created, it'll take about 10 or 15 minutes to complete. So I imagine most people will use or will complete it online. That's a great way to be able to get charts and data and for us to really be able to look at what your answers are. Because as we're making decisions and as we're trying to make these plans for the city, just like with the zoning, it's a chance for us to figure out what kind of city we want to be. What is Diamond Head going to be? How are we going to spend this money that we're getting back? And it shouldn't really just be for the loudest voice, it should really be for all of us. So as we're making these decisions, we want to represent everybody. So I'm not really a computer whiz, I'm just the youngest one up here, is really what that comes down to. I've made surveys for classrooms, I've been a teacher for quite some time, I'm in my first year as an administrator, so I've done some for faculty, I've never done one for a city. So it's not quite ready yet. I've made the survey, I have an online version that I will push out on the Facebook pages, probably get a link on the website. Ralph advised me, it's probably a great idea for me to make a paper copy and I can input that data into the spreadsheet to make the charts and graphs. So I'll have that available at the city office. So I would imagine probably by this time next week, you'll see that survey online and it'll be available in the city office. The questions on that survey, there's several different types. For one thing, I want to know, we know how many households, we know the population of the Garland County side of this, but what makes up those households? How many children are there? Are we wanting more child activities? Are we wanting more senior activities? Where do you want your money to be spent? Because we don't want to spend money just to spend money, we want to do what you want. So this survey should give us an idea of what everybody wants so we can act for everybody.
So like she said, you should be seeing it in the next, like in a week. We're gonna give it a couple of weeks to get input, and then probably to analyze the data, and then probably when Benny has had some surgery, I told her we give her a month to get better, and then she's gotta come back to work. So she'll be working with us to do some strategic planning, which you will all know about. You'll know what it is, what we decide, the input that you've given to us, that Juliana's going to be analyzing. You'll know what that says. We just want to be transparent.
And find some focuses so that we can start looking for the right grants and ways to get money to go do those. So that's the focus.
And Melanie said this, but all the data that I get from that survey, it's anonymous, but I do plan on sharing that data in a future meeting once I've collected it. So I'm not just saying, here's this survey, this is what you said, you'll see what people say.
Okay, very good. So be watching for that. This will be a process that will be coming along, and then we'll look for something that we have a roadmap to work from. And this, I said that, it's a new year, but we'll be looking for things for the next several years. So we're looking at kind of a planning approach here. Okay, so as far as business, this has got to be the least business we've had. I mean, we've had resolutions or ordinances at every one, but not at this one. But if anybody's got any of the board members council members have any other thoughts about unfinished or new business, this would be a time. Okay, hearing nothing, we'll move on. So the other things I had here is a few things I wanted to just, report and let everybody know kind of where they are and what's going on. One is, again, the lawsuit filed by the others against the city. There really has been nothing happening with that. I mean, there are certain things we had to turn in, and they did too. So it's sitting there for the judge right now, and of course with the holidays, nothing's happened. So I'm not sure when we'll hear, but you know, now that everything's getting back to a normal keel, I expect we will reasonably soon. But right now, it's just on hold, so to let you know that. Wanted to let you know, you've probably seen that we did implement the contract with the private security people. I know they've been meeting with a lot of folks. We've heard from them, because we talk to them fairly routinely, about some of the things that they've learned and been asked about and worked out there. Now, what we will be getting, we don't have the first one yet, but we will be getting from them their logbooks and notes from interactions and interfaces and people calling and having an issue to work with. So we'll have those, and once we get those, we will put those out for everybody to see, you know, only in terms of what it was, not where it was, not who it was, not any of that, but, you know, it was an aggressive dog, or there's a stalking situation, or whatever. So people understand what is happening and have some, you know, view of that, and we've got people out there working with us on it. So as soon as we get those, we'll be putting that out on the website and stuff, and so be watching for that. You know, it's just, on aggressive dogs and sometimes just dogs that are running loose, you know, we placed an animal control ordinance. Now, since we do not yet have a police function, we can't actually go, you know, take the dog and or anything in terms of an action like that. The security people will be watching for that. If people have issues and get called about that, they will be able to try to learn all the things going on with that, who may be the owner of the dog, and trying to get that nailed down. Once that's nailed down, the city then can take actions. We can require the dog to be put up if it's too aggressive. We can fine the owners if they don't do what's needed to be done. It's just that we have to get that information first and then follow up. We've had one incident. I wrote a letter and have not heard anything else on that, so I'm just making the assumption that took care of it. But I hear of other instances just where people are complaining about it. So if it's on Hot Spring County side, you know, obviously that's not the city, so we can't do anything about that. But if it is on the Garland County side, then you need to report it to security or call the office and give us pertinent information, and then we can look at what we can do.
There was a gentleman that came to our 4th of July celebration who was a new part of animal control for this area. Do you remember who I'm talking about? I think it was connected somehow with the fire department. But anyway, he said that he could help us out here.
Well, we need to try to find that
Yeah,
contact
yeah.
again. I don't remember, but anyway. And of course, you remember we tried to talk with the city of Hot Springs, tried to pay for some coverage there. It's what the county does, but they said they were just booked to the gills and could not take anything else on. So, but we do have ways to manage it, but we just have to be able to know the particulars. So, yeah. Just say, okay, we're preparing for the election for March 3rd. There's a number of things there that we had to do in certain time frames. Most of those we were early on. We've taken care of those. We've given them what will be on the ballot. It's very simple. And so when it's on the ballot March 3rd, that's really the only thing left is be ready to vote yea or nay on that.
Vote yea.
Yay. Okay, well, and then again, I just was mentioning that just before this meeting tonight, we had the public meeting on zoning for the city. More work to be done. It's just the beginning, but it will be able to be massaged, and you guys will continue to have inputs, and anybody else that wants to. So that's all I had. Does any of the board members, city council members, have anything further?
I'd like to reiterate that the minutes for the meeting will be on the webpage. We post those after they've been approved. Any of you that have questions on the fire finance, we got money in the bank, I'll guarantee you that. But as far as details on that, we'll certainly get those to you if you have a specific interest in it. You can either stop at the office or give one of us a call or send us an email, and we'll try and get that out to you. Apologize for not having you here tonight, just plain oversight on my part, so we'll get it taken care of. Anybody has any questions?
Thanks, John. All right, if there's nothing else, I would accept a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
Patty?
Second.
Leanne. Okay, all those in favor of adjourning, raise your right hand. Okay, we are adjourned.